asexual and aromantic people don't like reading or talking about sex and romance. Hello, it's me, the creator of a YA romance graphic novel series. Yeah, this is completely a myth. Like, I love reading and watching romance movies and books. And the protagonist of Loveless Georgia, it's, in the second chapter, she's like, I love romance, I love fanfiction, I love Disney. Just because someone is asexual or aromantic doesn't mean that they can't enjoy reading about it or watching it on TV. Again, it's
Okay, so I tried making this video, but apparently I wasn't recording, so I was just talking. I made that video and then I started talking, and it turns out it wasn't even recording, so I'm trying again for the second time. So this, I just watched this after I made that video, that two-part video that I just made about how I commented on an asexual video by David J. Bradley. And I was talking about my sort of experiences, not sexual experiences, but I was kind of talking about my experience with sort of asexuality and demisexuality, and how, I personally would prefer it if people didn't pressure me into having sex when I was in a relationship with them, or if I was just starting out in a relationship with them, should I say, more to the point. Because all I was doing in that comment, all I was saying in that comment was basically that, I had an experience where I was in a relationship with a guy, and just because I was acting kind of flirtatious and kind of sexual and like the sort of touching, we didn't kiss, by the way, but I like the touching and the, like I say, the flirtiness and stuff, being a bit of a flirt and a tease. I like that, but after a short while of doing that, the guy was, started expecting sex, and he started to pressure me into it, and I didn't like that. And that's basically all I was saying. So I wasn't really like talking in great detail about my sexual experience. And this person, this Silky Salt or whatever she was called, started going on about how she was offended on behalf of all asexuals that I was talking about sex. Offended, saying that it was offensive that I was talking about sex on an asexual video. But as you just heard, these people are asexual, and they're saying that just because you are asexual does not mean that you would get offended by anybody else talking about sex or anything sexual in videos, movies, TV, and all that sort of stuff. So there I was, because it's my first time watching asexual videos, So there I was, assuming that all asexuals were just offended by anyone talking about sex, which I was just barely talking about. I was barely talking about sex, and that person called Silky Salt was going on about how she was offended and saying that the whole community would be offended because I was talking about sex. So this person's just debunked that myth for me, because I was about to start thinking that way. But yeah, I just think that so they were not helping themselves. That Silky Salt was not helping the asexual community by saying she was basically offended on behalf of all the asexual community, all the asexual viewers on an asexual video, because I was talking about sex, which I wasn't. I was talking about my own feelings about sex, and that was it. So I just wanted to make this video to say that, to sort of say that person was basically being ridiculous. I mean, if she personally is offended by it, then that's fine. If she's an asexual and offended by someone like myself talking about sex, just mentioning it, I suppose, then that's fine. But the fact that she basically said she was offended on behalf, or saying that I was wrong because I was talking about sex on an asexual video on which all the viewers, the audience would be asexual. I'm sure not everybody who watches a certain kind of video, like an asexual video, they can't all be asexual, because I'm not. I'm sort of more demisexual, which I put in the video. But I just feel like my comment wasn't valid. I feel like I was sort of being discriminated against myself. In fact, I wanted to comment on this, but as you can see, it's taking forever to load. So I decided to write it on this talking buddy thing. When it finishes doing all its stupid loading thing, this is what I'm going to say.
Okay, so I am kinda new to the asexual and romantic community of videos on YouTube, so this is my first time watching some. Yours is my second after watching David J. Bradley. I started watching them out of curiosity. I commented on his video, reading some negative comments. I was just putting my experiences and points of view about how I want to wait until I'm with the right person before having sex, and a bunch of people commented that my comment was meaningless and that it offended them because I talked about sex on an asexual video with asexual viewers. I got upset about this, and I think the reason they are offended is because I'm not asexual, and therefore I'm not one of us, and I'm not
I'm not one
going
of
to
them.
lie. I feel as if I'm being discriminated against because I'm not asexual whilst watching asexual videos and commenting, as they put, talking about your sexual experiences and talking about sex, which offends us, even though I didn't even describe any sexual experiences, nor did I say I had any. I merely pointed out that I was in a relationship with a guy who expected sex and pressured me into it before I was ready, just because I like flirting and sensual touching. After these comments, I started to believe that maybe asexuals are in fact offended by anyone talking about sex in any way, shape, or form. But in your video, you debunk this myth. So I'm telling you now, there are asexuals out there who claim to be offended on behalf of all asexuals because I made this comment.
Okay, I need to rewrite that. Let me think. As they put, while watching sexual videos and commenting, as they put, talking about your sexual experience and talking about sex offends us. About sex on an asexual video with an asexual audience, something like that. I don't know, but yeah. Okay, so that's the end of the video for now, until I can think of anything else to put, you know, sort of, what's the word, you know, if there's anything more I want to say on this subject, like something else comes up that I have to comment on in regards to this subject, like another video or something that I will have to comment on.